morning, primary 2. Hello boys, hello girls. Today, inshallah, we will talk about new lesson. My lesson today is bar graph and vectograph. Bar graph and vectograph. The first part, we will talk about a bar graph. What is the meaning of bar graph? Bar graph is a chart. Uses bars, columns to show amounts. A bar graph is a chart. Uses bars, columns to show amounts. We will see this. This is bar graph. This is called bar graph. Bar graph consists of horizontal x. This is horizontal x and vertical x. This is horizontal x and this is vertical x. Number of people and this sports, favorite sport. Okay, this is sports. We have soccer, 9 people like soccer. Basketball, we have 7 people like basketball. Tennis, we have 5 people like tennis. Hockey, we have 2 people like the hockey. Baseball, we have 6 people like baseball. How many people like basketball? First, we search for where is basketball here. This is basketball. And we go up and stop at 7. So we have 7 people like basketball. We have 7 people like basketball here. Okay. Number 2, how many people like the soccer? How many people like the soccer? We have this soccer. We have 9 people like the soccer. We have 9 people like the soccer. Which kind of sport? When I say which kind of sports, we write the name of the sport is like the most. The most means the greatest number. So search for where is the greatest number here. We have 9. The name of the sport of this number will be soccer. So then the name of sports is like the most will be soccer. Will be soccer. How many more people like soccer than hockey? How many more people like soccer than hockey? More than. More than means minus. More than means minus. So when I say how many more people like soccer than hockey, we make minus. The difference between the number like hockey and the number like hockey and soccer. Okay, the greatest number here will be soccer, 9, minus hockey. How many people like hockey? 2. So the difference between the number of people like soccer and the hockey will be 7 people. 7 people. Okay. The last one. How many people all together? How many people all together like the tennis and baseball? All means plus. We make plus. So we have here tennis and baseball. How many people like tennis here? We have 5 people like tennis. Plus. And baseball, we have 6 people like baseball. So 5 plus 6 will be 11 people. 11 people in all like the tennis and baseball. The second part, we will talk about a vectograph. A vectograph is another way to show data. A vectograph uses pictures to tell how many. We will see this. This is vectograph. And this is the key of vectograph. Apple equal 10 apples. So here the whole apple we will count by 10. the half apple equals 5 apples. Equals 5 apples here. So here in January, how many people sold in January? In January we have 10 people because we have 1 apple and 1 apple equal 10 apples here. How many apples sold in February? In February, how many apples sold in February? So here we have 10, 20, 30 and 40. So here we have here 40 apples. We have here 40 apples. How many apples sold in March? How many apples sold in March? We have here 10, 20 and half apple equal 5. So here we have 25. 25 apples sold in March. In April we have 10 and 10 will be 20. So we have 20 apples sold in April. How many people sold in March? 34. In March, yes, in March we have 25 apples sold in March. 25 apples sold in March. How many more apples in February than April? So more than means minus. More than means minus. So the difference between apples in February and in April, we have 40, February 40 minus, and in April 20 equals 20, 40 minus 20 equals 20 apples, 20 apples. How many apples in all sold in February and March? In all means plus. In all means plus. So in February we have 40 and in March we have 25. So the whole apples in February and in March, 0 and 5 will be 5, 4 and 2 will be 6. So the number will be 65 apples. 65 apples. This is the pictograph. Pictograph here, we will use the key in pictograph, but in bar graph, we will use the columns and bars, okay? Thanks for listening and have a nice day.